They looked cool, they sold fast, but now they're collecting dust in showrooms and losing value faster than ever. What went wrong? Some of these motorcycles were once fan favorites until hidden flaws and market shifts crushed their reputation. Think your dream bike is safe? Think again. Number 13. Yamaha YZFR3. Price $5,209. At first glance, the YZF seems like a no-brainer. Lightweight, sporty, and beginner-friendly. But that's exactly the problem. It's too beginner-friendly. Riders outgrow it within months, and because so many were sold, the resale market is absolutely flooded. On top of that, early models suffered from suspension issues that dented their reliability image. So, when is it time to sell? You'll struggle to find a buyer who doesn't already know they can get one dirt cheap. Number 12. BMW G3110 GS. Price $6,090. The badge says BMW, but the performance screams entry-level. With a 315cc engine, the G3110 GS was meant to be an affordable adventure bike. Instead, it became known as a stepping stone for real BMWs. Once riders get a taste of bigger GS models, they never look back, and no one wants the baby version. That weak engine and starter bike stigma make it nearly impossible to get your money back later. Number 11. Indian Chief Darkhorse. Price $18,409. On paper, this bike is stunning. Matte finish, powerful engine, premium build. But here's the harsh truth. It's battling Harley for attention in a Harley-loyal world. Indian lacks the massive service network and community pull, which destroys resale confidence. Add in luxury depreciation, and you're looking at a $20K investment turning into a $12K reality real quick. Number 10. Honda Rebel 300. Price $4,699. It is a great learning bike, but that's where it stops. It's outgrown almost instantly. Within a few months, riders crave more power, more sound, more speed. The result? Craigslist is jammed with Rebels barely used and listed well below Blue Book. If you want a short fling, fine. But as a keeper, absolutely not. Number 9. Triumph Bonneville T100. Price $10,450. There's nothing wrong with the Bonneville T100, except the fact that its siblings outshine it. For just a bit more, riders can get higher spec versions with better performance and features. The T100 feels dated, underpowered, and, frankly, not worth the price tag anymore. Buyers know it too, which is why resale value continues to slump. Number 8. Yamaha MT03. Price $4,999. Here's where style meets disappointment. The MT03 looks aggressive and modern, but under the tank, it shares a platform with the Yamaha R3. That means the same 321cc engine that most riders outgrow by the time their first oil change is due. And because both bikes flood the market, the MT03's resale value is practically non-existent. Number 7. Suzuki SV650. Price $7,399. A cult classic, sure. It is reliable, nimble, and loved by many, maybe too many. Its popularity as a beginner to intermediate bike has led to massive turnover in the used market. It's not that the bike is bad, it's just that there are so many of them available. Sellers have to slash prices just to compete. And if you're thinking of buying new, prepare for that value to vanish the moment you ride off the lot. If you're still watching, you clearly care about your next bike. So hit that subscribe button. Number 6. Royal Enfield Himalayan. Price $5,299. The Himalayan promised adventure on a budget, and initially, it delivered. But the charm wears thin fast. Riders looking for off-road thrills find the power lacking, the suspension basic, and the weight oddly heavy for the performance it offers. Add to that concerns about parts quality and limited brand confidence in Western markets, and resale becomes a steep climb. Adventure riders want reliability and reputation. This one struggles on both fronts. The ride feel is often described as sluggish, and highway performance is notably weak. Even though recent updates have improved some mechanical aspects, the brand stigma remains strong in markets like the US and Canada. Buyers worry about sourcing parts, inconsistent dealer support, and whether the bike can hold up over years of rugged use. That uncertainty has crushed its resale prospects. Number 5. Kawasaki Vulcan S. Price $7,199. Kawasaki tried something bold with the Vulcan S, modern design, adjustable ergonomics, and a Ninja-derived engine. But that's where it lost traditional cruiser fans. It doesn't rumble, it revs. It doesn't feel planted, it feels plasticky. The design appeals to a niche group, but cruiser enthusiasts want presence and heritage. The resale market noticed, and now the Vulcan S is often passed over for more authentic options, even if they're older. While the bike is smooth and great for urban commuting, it lacks the visceral character people expect from a cruiser. The lightweight feel, which helps beginners, works against it on long rides or group cruises. In a segment where image and legacy mean everything, the Vulcan S comes off more like a bike that wants to be a cruiser rather than the real thing. Number 4. Harley-Davidson Street, 500. Price, $6,099. This one's a heartbreaker. Harley's attempt to create a lightweight, affordable bike for city riders backfired hard. The Street 500 was plagued with issues: lackluster engine performance, a quiet exhaust that betrayed Harley's sound legacy, and multiple recalls. Even Harley dealers weren't impressed, with some reportedly calling it junk behind closed doors. It failed to connect with core Harley fans and didn't attract enough new ones either. Today, its resale value is among the worst in Harley's history. It was supposed to introduce a new generation to the brand, but instead, it confused them. Owners report poor build quality, rattling parts, and a riding experience that just doesn't scream Harley. On top of that, many were used in training schools, meaning used inventory is both abused and cheap, further dragging prices down. Number 3. Indian Scout 60. Price, $9,499. This bike had potential. A lower-priced alternative to the Scout, the 60 was designed to bring in new riders to the Indian brand. But here's the catch. It ended up feeling like a compromised version of its older sibling. With less power and fewer premium touches, the Scout 60 was always in the shadow of the full-size Scout. Riders often regretted not saving up a little more for the real deal. As a result, the Scout 60 is hard to sell without taking a financial hit. What stings even more is that it looks nearly identical to the full Scout, which sounds good until you realize it invites direct comparison, where it falls short in torque, excitement, and touring ability. Once a buyer test rides both, the 60 starts looking more like a stripped-down teaser than a real contender. Number 2. Ducati Monster 797. Price, $9,295. A Monster under $10K sounds great until you ride it. Ducati fans expect high-revving excitement, raw performance, and Italian edge. The 797 delivers almost none of that. It was discontinued after just 3 years because it didn't live up to the Monster legacy. Riders complained it felt tame, underpowered, and too safe. In short, it felt like a Ducati without the Ducati soul. Combine that with low demand, and you've got a resale nightmare wrapped in a red trellis frame. Sure, it still carries that beautiful Italian styling, but anyone familiar with the Monster lineup knows this one is the weakling. Most owners jump to the 821 or newer models, leaving the 797 stuck in the why settle zone. Add in high maintenance costs, because it's still a Ducati, and you've got an entry bike with premium ownership expenses and beginner-level performance. Number 1. Suzuki GSX 250R. Price, $4,590. Suzuki tried to blend sport bike style with everyday usability in this 248cc machine, but it missed the mark on almost every front. It's severely underpowered for its size category and often mistaken as just another 250. That's not great when buyers expect more. Worse, Suzuki pumped a lot of these into dealerships, so the market is saturated. It's seen as disposable, not durable. The moment you roll it out of the showroom, it starts bleeding value. And no, that sleek fairing doesn't help. Riders expecting a mini GSX-R got a commuter in disguise, and once word spread, interest plummeted. It's a bike people buy because of the price tag, not because they love it. And when that happens, the moment they're ready to upgrade, they struggle to sell it because no one else loves it either. Common reasons. These bikes are crashing in value. So why are all these bikes losing their value so quickly? Well, it comes down to a mix of common but critical reasons that many buyers overlook. First, a lot of these motorcycles fall into the entry-level category. While that's great for new riders, it also means their performance gets outdated fast. Riders quickly outgrow them, and the bikes don't offer enough to keep long-term interest. Then there's market oversaturation. When too many units flood the streets, or worse, the used listings, it drives demand down and resale prices with it. Another big issue is power-to-weight ratio. Some of these bikes just don't deliver enough punch for their size or category. They look good on paper, but the ride feels underwhelming. Internal competition also plays a huge role. When a brand offers a better version of the same bike for just a few $100s more, the lower-tier model suffers hard in resale. Add in factors like recalls, being discontinued, or poor aftermarket support, and things go downhill fast. Finally, reputation matters. If a bike develops a bad image, whether from real flaws or just public perception, it becomes a tough sell, no matter how well it runs. Resale isn't just about specs, it's about trust.